Plaintiff, Rochelle Dion, says the defendant is her 18-year-old son, and she's worried that he's headed down the wrong path. Rochelle claims her son has an extensive juvenile record, and she's suing him today because he stole over $5,000 worth of jewelry from her and her mother, and he pawned it, and she has the pictures to prove it. Defendant Elisha Delvon says his parents never liked him, and he's always been treated differently from his other siblings. Elisha insists he had nothing to do with stealing his mother's jewelry, and therefore he refuses to pay for anything.
Tell me what happened.
This is my 18-year-old son. I brought him here today because I'm concerned for his well-being. He is on a wrong path. He's hanging with the wrong people. He's consistently getting in trouble.
Like what, aside from this issue today?
I am a mother of 3. Mm-hmm. Me and my husband had our daughter at 15. My mom, who's present with me as my witness, had me at 14. We have overcome obstacles in life, despite having children at a young age. My son is 18 years old, and he is now a father.
Was his father in his life?
My husband and I have been married for 20 years this year.
And he was raised in the household?
Yes, he was.
Go ahead.
From the age of 12 years old, he has been getting in trouble in school, being suspended for being tardy, not turning his homework in. He's tried alcohol. He's been smoking Black and Milds. He took my car without permission. He's
Thank God.
All of these things.
Thank God he's an average kid. Thank you, Lord.
All of these things.
And what you just said, ma'am, you described the average behavior of the average child. Now, I don't know what he did with this jewelry, and if you're suing for $5,000, that is not average behavior. That is terrible behavior, but maybe I'm not hearing something.
Well, the thing I'm bringing to you is that I believe he needs to go to boot camp.
For what?
He is on the verge of having domestic violence issues with his baby's mother. On the
verge. Tell me what he has done.
Police has been called to her residence.
What did he do to her?
It's her and him fighting each other.
Okay, let's move on, ma'am. Unless you can tell me something beyond what you've told me, this young man is the average young man. Unless he's done something beyond this typical teenage behavior.
Well, due to the state of Ohio law, I can't go into his juvenile record, which is extensive. So I can't tell you. So
why didn't you tell me that my son has an extensive criminal record?
Oh, that's my son.
I know, but that's just described. You're the one that's here accusing him of stealing $5,000 worth of jewelry. Do you want to dismiss it, ma'am?
No, I don't want.
All right. Well, come on, young man. You tell me about yourself.
Well, my parents never really liked me, and my brother and sister, they were always two-faced.
Why didn't they like you?
I was always the different one in our family.
Like, all of you all are different. Let me make you aware of that.
I'm really,
Every single one of the children are different.
Really different.
They're not clones. When you have babies, they don't clone them. They're different. Now, did they treat you unfairly?
Of course, all the time.
Tell me how.
All right, for the last 5 years, my brother and my father, they go to a Browns game every year. They have season tickets. They got their own seats. My sister and my mother, they'll go shop and do whatever they do every once in a while I'm at home every Sunday by myself.
Did you ever ask why?
I wasn't a Browns fan. That's that.
That's what they told you?
Ever since I was little, my dad said,
they told you, they said, you can't go because you're not a Browns fan.
Mathis.
I don't like the Browns.
Then we wouldn't go. I wouldn't take you anyway. Are you ready now to tell me? Because I can't help you at all unless you tell me what's wrong.
My son has shoplifted.
How many times?
Twice.
At what age?
16 and 17.
Okay. What else?
Running away. He's run away twice.
When?
When he was 16 and again at 17.
Okay. Do you all ever get inside of his head to find out why?
He just didn't want to follow the rules.
All right.
But he was suspended.
All right.
3
Sir, young
times.
man, is any of this true? Did you run away twice?
I did not run away twice. That's why I have my witness.
Did you shoplift twice? Stand up straight. You're not on the street. You don't even look like you can hang on the street. It'll tear you apart. Go ahead. Did you shoplift twice?
I was with people that shoplifted.
What?
I was with people that shoplifted.
Oh, right. That's the usual story. Let's get to the jury, ma'am. What happened?
August 23rd, I received a phone call from a detective. I was in Youngstown for my aunt's graduation. The detective informed me she had some property in mind, and I asked her what, and she said a class ring. So I called my husband. I asked him to check my jewelry box, and he checked it, and no jewelry was present, just costume jewelry. The detective also said the reason she called me was because the pawn shop where the jewelry was found had been frequented by my son so many times it raised a red flag.
When you mentioned it to him, what did he say?
He denies it. He still denies it to this day.
Tell me about the jewelry.
The jury. All right.
Go ahead. Tell me what happened, gangster.
All right. All right. Well, I think she brought my grandmother up here because they
Now, let's
think I
talk
took
about the
that
jury,
too.
gangster. Did you take it or not?
No, I didn't take it at all.
Good enough. You wanted to speak? Come on up, ma'am. State your name.
I'm Diane Kirk. I'm Elisha's grandmother. And Elisha came to Youngstown, and not only did he steal from his mother, he stole from me, and he's been mouthing off at both his parents. He's cursed his father, disrespectful. I left him in my house, and while I was gone to a family function, he robbed me blind.
Why do you think he's doing this? Do you know of him to have a reputation, ma'am, your son, to have a reputation as a criminal in the street or in the community?
He gives the facade of being
Right.
hood.
I know it.
Wearing a do-rag and sagging pants.
Right. Wannabes put on a rag and walk around like that and talk tough until they get locked up, and then they go to wearing that wig and carrying that purse, especially when they look like him, weak and humble. You can't do nothing on the street. That's why you're ripping your mama and your grandmama off. Ma'am, can you prove he says he didn't take any of the jewelry? I see you have pictures there. Is that just of the jewelry or?
No, it's pictures of his ID from the pawn shop
And his
and
signature.
his signature.
How do you explain that, gangster? How do you explain that, gangster?
You want me to explain it?
Yeah, explain it. You say you didn't, so explain that. You're not even a good gangster. Keep
I got
from
like
getting
3
caught.
people that look like me for one.
Looks
I could
like
go
you.
in
It's
there.
not you.
I go in there. No, not me.
It's not you?
Yeah,
Oh.
for one. And I remember seeing that, but I ain't never walked in there with that. at
You
all.
remember seeing what?
The class ring I seen with these right here.
You seen it where?
Talking about seen it where?
I'm out. You say you seen it. My question is, you seen it where?
My mother's
Don't
house,
talk
'cause I
slick
lived
to
there.
me.
I lived there.
You ain't game at all. You a coward.
All right.
Rip off your mother and your grandmother. All right, he's denying it. He's clearly liable. We see it. We see the way he pawned it, his picture, his name, everything else is on there. He's talking about it's not him. Let me give you some advice. He's not ready to do anything other than go to jail and get chumped. So he has to get tough love. And you're doing right by bringing him here. But you also have to take him to the police. A young man won't change until they're ready. You can cry like you did here today, but you have to wait till he changes. I tell mothers this all the time. They call me, Judge, I need you to straighten out my son like you straighten out. Yeah, you know how I straighten out? I went to jail. My mother used to call the police on me. I say it all the time. When someone stole something in the community, someone was robbed in the community, my mother would call the police and say, would you come check my son out? He might be the one. Because my son is a real gangster. Anyhow, ma'am, what do you want
Judge,
to tell me?
I want my son to have a chance in life.
Mm-hmm.
He just turned 18 years old, and he's the father of a baby and allegedly the father of another child. And he's seeing this 15-year-old girl.
Ma'am, unfortunately, you can't want for your child more than they want for themselves. You gotta come to grips with that. You gotta come to grips with that, with the emotions that you're feeling. I know it's hurting you. Give us some tissue, please. I know it hurts. I know it hurts.
I have an uncle in prison. He's been there since he's been 17.
And he wants to go there too. So tell your uncle to make another bed. He wants to be a slave. Can't you see that? Something we've fought our way out of. Let him be a slave until he's ready to be a real man. All right? That's all you can do. In fact, that's what I would pray for. Pray that he goes to prison so that he doesn't get killed, because he's weak. He's going to be killed trying to be a street guy. You know what? My mother never cried in my face. She used to say, I'll be glad when you go to jail. At least they won't kill you on the street. And I went to jail. And that's when I changed. Not because of what my mother said, but I said, wow, it's time for me to change. Part of it was because I was hurting my mother. When I saw the hurt that I was causing, I said, wow, I love my mother. And if I'm causing her this type of pain, I want to change my life. Because he's not going to turn around until he wants to. You can cry all you want. We can beg and plead. Man, would you please turn your life around, young man? You're going down the wrong path. You look at me like I'm a sucker. You say, yeah, all right, Judge. I'm going to turn my life around, Judge. Time he get out, him and his boy be walking around. He's a sucker. Let's go get us some money. Judgment for the plaintiff, $5,000.
I love you, and I brought you here so you can make better choices in your life before something really bad happens.
She move on with her life, whatever, period. That's that.